Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video is about who should you actually summon from the current patch and the upcoming patch banner as well. So this video will differentiate into two parts, which is the current banner and the upcoming banner, and also the question which is a lot of you guys is actually asking, should you actually R6 your Sakura or should you actually go for Lushang as well? Because you already watched the previous video, Lushang is actually a very strong R0 Esper. But the result, of course, is going to be good as well, but who is more worth the value? I'll also cover that part in this video. So the first Esper I'm going to cover for today is going to be Osana. So Osana as a Bleed Queen is actually very impressive as her damage wise from her passive. So the passive here, the Phantom Pain here will gain her 200% of damage attack increase. Actually, it's a very strong Esper as a DPS, but if we really have to compare with the other DPS Esper we already have in game, so let's say we're gonna use her in Falsetto Fantasy, then we have actually Slot, we have Embla, we have Elif R6. So if we have a lot of other DPS situation, it actually outshines Osana in the current situation. So there's not really a lot of content that actually makes Osana shine that much, because there's actually a better unit outperform her in terms of DPS. So for now, I would say it's not worth the reso for most of the player, unless you have like tons of resources of Wishstone and then you really like her design and she is your favorite character, then you can just go for it without any doubt, right? Because she's not like useless, just that if term of DPS she'll get outperformed by other DPS, something like that. So she's not totally a waste, but just that not really worth of your reso spend. Yeah. Then next one, Sakura. So Sakura here, there's a lot of player now is comparing, is like, since they already sees Lushang and then they are still holding their Wishstone, they are no idea if they should actually go for Sakura or go for Lushang, right? So I can tell you that R6 Sakura's value actually is still maintaining there. Yes, Sakura will get countered by Lushang's silence. This is no doubt, because Lushang have a faster rival rule speed compared with Sakura. Because if you take a look at Sakura, rival rule speed is 248, while Lushang is like 278 if not mistaken. So Lushang will take the action first and Lushang will apply the silence to Sakura first, assuming your Sakura is not built with flag set. If your Sakura is built with flag set, then there's another situation. But in rival rune content, like in beat bout and knockout, Sakura will get countered by Lushang, because Lushang will take action first, then will silence Sakura, then Sakura cannot cast her S3, which is the most important buff for Sakura to actually protect her teammate. Then Sakura will get countered by Lushang. But if we don't talk about just PvP, she is also a massive damage boost for all your PvE content. All three Falsetto Fantasy boss, all four, not all four, but Dislyte, Shadow Glow and Shadow Fire, and also other PvE content. Sakura's R6 here will also benefit you a lot, because of the stats boost here isn't based by active turn. Because you have to know that your ally with Vigor Guard, there's two choices. Either you actively cast ability or you get hit, will also get the stats boost. While the Lushang buff is they have to take their active turn. So if they don't take their turn, so such as Embla, such as like Elif, such as like Brewster, such as like Embla that is doing some passive damage that is like from relief set, all those stuff, it won't really trigger the damage boost from Lushang. So in terms of majority wise, I would say Sakura's R6 value is still there. So you don't have to worry that investing in R6 Sakura is not worth. I would say it's still very worth, because she can cover PvE and PvP content, and she's a defender, she can fit into WUT, and she will still remain meta in the PvP content. Just that now we have a really solid counter to counter Sakura, which is going to be Lushang. Then Yuran here, I would say you can, if you don't have Yuran, you can just get him anytime from the Wish banner pool. Or if you really want to get him reso, I will recommend your Yuran, just go for R2. This one here, after casting the S2, reset the ability cooldown for all the flow teammate. This is pretty good for Shadow Fire and also for Falsetto Fantasy, but it's not really worth to actually push for it. So if you like Yuran and you have the extra Wishstone for it, then I will say Yuran R2 is a good spot to actually stop. Then you can stop investing for Yuran. This is my part for the current banner Esper. Then let's take a look at the upcoming one. Okay, then for the upcoming patch 1, the banner Esper is going to be Lushang. So Lushang here definitely worth at least 1 copy. I would say at least 1 copy because 1 copy is actually all you need to actually play for Lushang. So if you summon for Lushang, I'm pretty sure you're summoning for Lushang because of his passive. But keep note, this passive here is different than Shenpin's, different than Sakura's, different than Yamato, all those stuff. Because this accentuated buff here, it will only trigger when you take your active turn, which is the start of the carrier's turn. So if you never take a turn, so let's say you are a very slow R6 elite, or you are a Brewster that is doing damage based from background, that doesn't take his turn and he just keep on pew pew from at the back, then it won't benefit too much from this buff because you need 10 turn to actually fulfill the condition to get your max damage output potential, and all those turn have to be active. Meanwhile, like buff from Shenpin, buff from Sakura, they doesn't require your Esper to take active turn. You can passively deal damage or passively gain the stats without taking the active turn. So there's differences between the Lushang's buff and the Shenpin's and Sakura buff. So if you really want to compare, yeah, Lushang's buff definitely is worth the value. So that's why I recommend at least 1 copy. Just that if you really want to compare with Sakura, overall consistent wise, majority content wise, I would say Sakura is better, but you have to know that Sakura is R6 for that situation. So Lushang here, just 1 copy is enough. And what kind of situation would you want to get for higher reso? So from what I'm looking at now, at least for now, I would say R2 here is for the PvP, because at the start of combat you instantly grant the safeguard for your team, so your team here will get protected by debuff other than stun control debuff. So it's a very good counter against Yuhime's Hamshrug. But keep note, you can only block the Yuhime's Hamshrug and the other effects such as like HP reduction, all those stuff, but you cannot block AP down. You cannot block the disease, you cannot block you can block the disease, you can block the Hamshrug, but you cannot block the AP down from Yuhime. So overall, this safeguard here is a good stack to actually block the debuff at the start of the combat. So, and there's 3 stacks of it, which is actually a very good, but mainly used in PvP. PvE wise, not really that frequently used, but it does help in the PvE situation. Then R4 here doesn't really need, to be honest, and R6 here I would say is more about the PvP stuff. When Lushang dies, then his ally gain a bonus turn, then this bonus turn here maybe will do something else. But you have to keep note, when Lushang dies, then all your buff here actually gone as well. Because if Lushang dies, it will remove all the accentuated stack. So yeah, this is Lushang comment. So if you really want to compare with Sakura, I will still say Sakura. Like if you're comparing with R6 wise, right? Sakura is still worth the R6. Then Lushang here, 1 copy will do. Is a very good Esper and worth the value for 1 copy. Then Liling here, to be honest, skip Liling. You don't really play Liling unless one situation. Unless you are playing meta Liling. So if you really like meta Liling and if you want to boost your meta Liling, the additional way or the alternative way to actually boost your meta Liling is getting Liling's reso. So your Liling reso will actually boost into meta Liling's R1 stat boost. So every single 1 reso from Liling will benefit the meta Liling by another 5% of the base attribute. So this is the only reason you will actually pull Liling, or else I would say don't pull for Liling, just skip. Then TA here, if you don't have 1 copy, then I'm pretty sure you're still a deal player, then you can consider to get 1 copy. TA is pretty good for your early game. But for those players who have been playing for quite some time, I would say TA's reso is pretty good. The R2 here is good. This one here is majority good for most of the PvE content, especially for Sato Fantasy. Then R6 here, not really worth the value to actually rush for R6. So personally, I would just recommend you the R2 effect instead of the R6 effect. Then we also have the upcoming banner, which is going to be Hilda and Fumitsuki. Hilda here, as I always mention, is going to be a R0 wonder, so you don't really have to go for high reso for Hilda unless you're going for R6 PvP Hilda. But not worth the reso. I'll recommend you to keep it because we have a lot of the new Esper coming soon, especially from the anomaly phase. Then Fumitsuki here, I would recommend you to at least go to R2 if you're enjoying her in arena content and PvP content. So if you look at the reso phase here, R2 before you cast your Bamboo Cutter, which is your S1, and you always cast S1 when enemy end their turn. Because when they end their turn, then Fumitsuki will launch S1, and the S1 here will inflict stun and buff blocker. But if enemy have immunity situation such as Anna, then the Bamboo Cutter at R2 effect here will actually come in handy because it will dispel all the buff here. It will be a very good unit, and it can be used in PvP and also in Falsetto Fantasies Dark Starlord Team 1 Dispeller, because she can dispel and she can also apply buff blocker. This is actually a very strong unit, but you have to go to R2 to make it more consistent. Then the last week is going to be Fatima and Amir. So to be honest, Fatima I would say is a skip. Even in PvP situation, it's actually a very niche unit. It's very hard to actually use her. So for most of the player, I would say don't go for Fatima. Then for Amir here, if you already skip the Amir banner, please get Amir this time. Don't skip Amir this time. So Amir here, I would recommend you to at least go for R2. It will make your wave content, especially our event trial, a lot more smoother. Then you don't have to rely for free to play video guide content anymore. You can actually try to go for the pay to win or more competitive leaderboard content as long as you have R2 Amir. R4 will make it even better. R6 will make it even better. But R2 is the bread and butter. butter. So this is the butter. Then this is a better version. This is a better version. So I would say Amir is good. Worth the rezo, can be used in PvP and also PvE. But is it necessary to go until R6? I don't really think so. But I think R2 is where you should actually at least go for. Then if you like his damage, if you like his skill kit, and you really like Amir, and you have a lot of other Wishstone on hand at the moment, then I would recommend you to go for R4. I don't think R6 is really needed. I would say R2 is the mandatory, then R4 is the also worth it, just that not that rush. Okay, so overall this is the upcoming patch banner as per priority I'll recommend. So as usual, you can feel free to comment down what Esper are you going for to summon, or what is your plan? Are you going for R6 Sakura and then go for one copy of Lushang, or are you going to skip Sakura and actually go for R6 Lushang? Feel free to comment down your own suggestions so other players can also take a look. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is Jen MP, Roses15, Molkert Regally, The Bluest Chalane, Cami, thank you so much for the support. And for the supporter and patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Code Wilderness, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwatts, Rimu, Chani, Von Hexa, Rawson Bessie, Antonio Winterspoon, Marlene Williams, Uncle Chat, Eric Mandis, Craigren, Riku Fred X Iris, Calamity, Jordan Alons, thank you so much for the support. And that's not all, also special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest 10. Special thanks to Ziggy, Calamity, Agni, Pong Pong, Code Wilderness, Riku Fred, and Choni. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.